Rick Lukens, Keith Oso, and Vince Grippi with you live from Northern Quest Resort and Casino for a night with Cougar football on National Letter of Intent Day. And speaking of Cougar football, we ran across a legend. Jack Thompson's hanging out, so we grabbed him. We're going to throw him on the air. Jack, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm committed. I'm a Cougar.
That's not a soft verbal.
That's an unwavering commitment, or is that a today commitment?
It's an affliction.
He just put a hat on. He just put a Cougar hat on, and so he's going to be a Cougar with his last year of eligibility. What do you think of Letter of Intent Day? I know it's important in the grand scheme of things because you don't win without recruiting.
Yeah.
But it's a much bigger event today than when you signed.
Oh, a lot more. And thank you to sports outlets like ESPN, Under Armour. We were talking about that. It's frankly on a personal. I'm way too old school. It's stupid. I mean, it's an opportunity for the families, the parents to get their jollies off of whatever.
Sure.
I like I said, I'm old school, and I readily admit that. And when they play that game with the hat, how disrespectful that for those other schools that have committed to them.
Yeah.
And then they pull that stupid shenanigans play. It's stupid. It's disrespectful to those. Doesn't matter what schools are going after them, but I just feel badly for those who, whose hat wasn't chosen.
Yeah.
Silly.
I don't think when we were going to school, we even had letters of intent. I can't remember signing one. I remember signing a scholarship agreement.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
It was the it was the contract.
Yeah,
if I can remember correctly.
Exactly. And you said, I'm going to accept that money.
Yeah, I remember when I signed, or committed, I waited until, and everyone knew because I told the two parties, the interested parties, Oregon and Washington State, and Carl Blackburn was the Oregon coach. He was at my front doorstep. I felt terrible that he was there, and Mike Price was the other coach, and he was down the street. And I said, I can't, tell you right now because I wanted to wait to talk to my father. And so my father came home. He worked the night shift, and he got home at around 7:30. And I said, to my dad, I wanted to talk to you last. And we had about a half-hour discussion, and I went out and told Carl Blackburn that I was opting to go to Washington State. So.
You're still a pretty good spokesperson for Washington State. You still have people still come to you for what do you think about what's going on with the Cougars. Certainly today is evident, if we didn't know already, the level of excitement around Cougar football right now is as big as it's been. And, I mean, this event was half this size last year as far as the tables and chairs that are set up that will be full tonight.
Yeah.
The hiring of Mike Leach has taken this to another level. I mean, what are you hearing from people that talk to you about the excitement level?
Well, it's never been this high. Cougar football, I mean, there's something in the air. We all know that.
It's going to be footballs.
Yeah, exactly. Lots of footballs. I don't know if we'll ever hear about a running back carrying the ball anymore. It's. I hear our running game will consist of dump off to the right, dump off to the left, and it doesn't matter.
Calling them long handoffs.
Exactly, hand. And I'm looking forward to it. Definitely, Coach Leach is an innovator. In the passing game, we all know that, but this whole thing started before Coach Leach was hired. It's Bill Moose. I mean,
sure.
Let's not forget. I mean, make no bones about that. The hiring of Bill Moose was a statement that Elson Floyd made that it's not business as usual, and we brought in somebody. Who has a vision for our program, not just a football program, for our athletic program, and a vision to get us back to the championship level, but more importantly, to keep us there. So,
Washington State has a storied past with quarterbacks. You have yourself, Rippon, Bledsoe, Alex Brink is in the record books.
Absolutely.
It's got to be tough to know those records are about to be obliterated because if anything that Mike Leach did before comes up to Washington State, the records you guys had, even as storied as you were, are about to be toast.
No, totally.
That's got to be a little strange.
I feel a bit insignificant. however long I can last as a quote ambassador, I'm going to make hay while I can.
Well, they're gonna be throwing Samoa. The guy threw like 3 times
Throwing,
compared to
he
what we
ain't
do
no
now.
throwing.
He was handing it off.
You want throwing? This is throwing.
You're talking about throwing 62 times, and that's not going to be unusual, I don't think,
No.
this year.
No, like you guys said earlier, there was the pre-Leach days, and then there's going to be a post-Leach, season or system type of numbers, and we're going to wait to see just how much they're going to obliterate it.
There are two great quarterbacks in the system that Leach has inherited.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, one, a proven leader in Jeff Toole, who his whole junior season, I think he took every snap.
Yep.
And then Connor Halliday, who kind of out of necessity was put into action and shined at the end of last season. What do you see happening there?
Well, I think we have two proven leaders. Connor and what he did in 2 games, it was really unprecedented. For him to come in, against ASU and just light it up the way he did. And then that heroic effort that he gave against Utah and getting hurt. That I spoke with his father this morning, Dwayne, and we're reminiscing on that particular game. That was as a heroic performance, in my humble opinion, as Jason Gesser and that performance against UCLA.
With the high ankle sprain,
with a broken leg, he'll tell you, with broken leg and whatever else he broke. It's amazing how it's gotten more.
Story gets better.
I heard he was in a full body cast.
Yeah, Jason. He'll tell you that. But I was there. I was at that game and thinking, I'm seeing something really super special. Well, that Utah game with Connor, it was very, very
We didn't know
special.
till afterwards with Connor. It was the difference.
Well, you know what? I saw the hit. I remember commenting. I said, he's hurt. There's something happening out there. And there was a while there that he took, he was playing with a very pained expression, throughout for the rest of the half. But he somehow, I don't know where he found it, but he found it and he came back. And you remember that last drive?
Oh yeah, half a yard away
in the snow.
Yeah.
So what do you see happening with this year where you've got Toole? I mean, it was a great player coming back for one more season, and Connor with a few years in front of him.
Well, I see big smiles from Coach Leach and this coaching staff.
No kidding.
Because those two are they can start for any team. There's no doubt in my mind about that. What has to happen is Connor needs to gain weight, get stronger. He has to. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Dwayne, his father said he's at 188, going in the right direction. He's gained 10 pounds, but he needs to get up to 215, 218.
Like Jeff did.
Yeah, like Jeff.
Yeah,
exactly.
True.
And Jeff is a wonderful leader and gifted athlete, and so it's going to be one heck of a competition.
Is it fun for you to watch a guy like Marshall Lobestall who didn't have the gifts that Connor and Jeff Toole have, but he stuck with the program and had the right attitude and came in when they needed him and he didn't seem to ever complain.
We were talking about that too, and I'll tell you something about Marshall. His legacy is set in that he was able to create an atmosphere of total selfless, team-oriented attitude, and it's rubbed off on Jeff, and it's rubbed off on Connor. And what has happened is that you have a group of, and you were there every day, Vince.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He is a special kid in the sense that he's the consummate Cougar. I mean, he could have left.
Sure.
A
Most
lesser
would've.
guy would have.
Yeah.
And there probably were better places for him, for his skill set.
And if you ask him why did he not leave, he'll tell you because he wanted to be a Cougar. And Cougars everywhere need to celebrate that and be thankful for that, because one of the things we were talking about too is that when you look at the group of quarterbacks that played at Washington State University, I want to tell you something about that group. Great guys. I mean, guys that people aren't afraid of to walk up and get an autograph. Guys who represent our school well. We have some hiccups here and there, and some redemption stories here and there, but by and large, they're good guys. I mean, there are other schools. You can't say that about the people that occupied that position.
I love the fire you still have for people that go to Washington State and those that don't. I can really see it in your eyes, and we still appreciate that fire.
You know, if they choose not to go to Washington State, we didn't need them anyway.
That's right. You don't want the guys that don't want to be here, right?
Heck no.
All right. That's Jack Thompson,
Thanks,
legendary
Jack. Thanks, guys.
quarterback for Washington State University. We're live at Northern Quest Resort and Casino. It's Patchen, Lukens, and Oso.